Welcome to this session. This is the second part of the morning session, assessing equivalence of complex drug products, experience with follow-on nanomedicines and non-biological complex drugs, the NBCDs. Last year we had a similar, not a generic, but a similar meeting on this topic. And these meetings are organized, initiated by a platform, a NBCD platform, the non-biological drug platform. There's a group of people sitting together from industry and academia, trying to come up with questions, but more importantly with solutions for the questions that are being raised, and that are being raised about non-biological complex drugs. And what are non-biological complex drugs in our view, and maybe the speakers will have a different view on that later on, but that's all in the game, the discussion platform. A non-biological drug, a complex drug, is a synthetic medicinal product that is not a biological. That's one thing. It is usually not homomolecular, closely related structures. It cannot be fully characterized by physicochemical means. And one important aspect of it, essential aspect, is the production is essential for the quality of the product. So full control of the production is a necessity. So these are characteristics of NBCDs. And how does this NBCD concept, how does that sort of fit in the existing views of the regulators in this world? Of course, we have on the left-hand side small molecules and generics approach, sort of matured. There are still some questions here and there, but matured paradigm that we are not going to talk about in detail. And we have biologics, biological drugs, molecular antibodies, EPO, and those kind of large molecules. And the regulators have, in their wisdom, developed, and in particular the EMA, I think, has taken a front-runner role here, developed the biosimilar paradigm. We can't ensure that they are exactly the same, but they are similar enough to be approved and interchangeable or substitutable. That's still a question that we have to deal with. But there is a clear paradigm for biological drugs. Complex, but we know how to deal with that. But what about NBCDs? They are complex, they are non-biological. How to deal with them? Should we have something like a biosimilar approach? That is one of the questions on the table. And that also means that this group has been in discussions in Europe, in the US, in Asia, about these non-biological complex drugs. Different conferences, CLINAM is clearly shown there, different conference. These points were discussed there. So it is a sequence, it is a moving target that we are talking about. Not only conferences we have been active, we also have publications, and a number are mentioned here. I also would like to draw your attention to a publication from the EMA side in the Gabi journal very recently that also talked about the EMA position as far as the NBCD is concerned. Anybody who is interested in the book, it's available for inspection. My co-chair, Steven Mühlbach, has a copy with him. So that as an introduction to the program of this morning session. Just for your information, a couple of housekeeping points. Everything is taped, so watch out what you're saying. In particular about Brexit and those kind of things. Don't say too much, because it can be held against you or in favor of you. That's one thing. The other is there will be short question and answer session after each presentation, 3 minutes max. Only talk, ask questions when you have a microphone in your hand. For the same reason, people in the back really want to have everything there. Then, last but not least, for the speakers, it's 12 minutes plus 3. So please keep up with that. Make sure that you don't overshoot that. With that, I would like to give the floor to my co-chair. Oh, and in the end, there is a panel discussion. So the real broader perspectives will be discussed by the panel. But as a Democrat, I'm very much in favor of asking the audience. I'm not using the word referendum here, but asking the audience to participate in the discussion, because that enriches the discussion, definitely. Stefan, I give the floor to you to introduce the first speaker.
Thanks, Daan, and good morning again to everybody. As you have seen, our debate by the very end should be something where we can engage you. And to do that, we have views and updates from different parts and organizations. And I have the pleasure to introduce the first speaker, which is Professor Marisa Papalouka, the lady in front of me, and she will give the update and the view from EMA. The floor is yours.